You know what it is. That's right. It's time to talk money with your money nerd and financial coach. Now, tighten those purse strings and open those ears. It's the Money Talk with Tiff podcast.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Tiffany's Take, where I answer your money questions right here on the podcast. So if you want to have your question answered, go to www.moneytalkwitht.com/ask Tiffany, and I'll be more than happy to answer for you. And while you're over there, make sure you check out some of the blog posts and everything else that I have on the site. It's a lot of information. So anyway, today I want to dive into a topic that's becoming all too familiar in many households. And I had someone reach out to me and ask me, what on earth is a boomerang kid? What is a boomerang kid? So if you're scratching your head wondering, don't worry, that's what I'm going over today. So first and foremost, who are boomerang kids? So they're young adults who've flown the nest only to return home after a stint of independence. So whether it's due to the rising cost of living, which we're all experiencing, student loans, or career transitions, more young adults are finding themselves back at home. So what does this mean for the family finances? Let's go ahead and break it down together. So imagine this scenario. You finally got your home to yourself. Listen, I am waiting. I have years to go, but I am waiting for the day. And just when you started enjoying the quiet, here comes your grown child knocking on the door with their bags, maybe kids in tow. It's a common story and it comes with both challenges and opportunities. So let's talk about how to navigate this situation smoothly. Now, also on the flip side, if you're someone listening and you are a boomerang kid or you're thinking about becoming one, make sure you listen to this as well. So that way you can be on the right foot and also you can share this episode with your parents so that way they have this information as well. You might not like some of the stuff that I'm going to say, but it's important to do this so that way everybody can live in unity. So first things first, set clear boundaries. So have an open conversation about expectations. Will they contribute to the household expenses, help out with chores? Establishing ground rules early can prevent misunderstandings and keep the peace. I will say this is the most important thing because I feel like a lot of situations go south because people aren't clear on what they're supposed to be doing and what that's going to look like. So always set clear boundaries on both sides. 2, create a financial plan. So encourage your boomerang kids to map out a plan. Are they saving for a house? Are they paying off debt? Having clear financial goals can turn this living arrangement into a stepping stone rather than a permanent stay. And if you're a boomerang kid listening, make sure that you're doing this as well. What is your plan? How long do you plan on staying? Listen, it is a blessing if you have a parent that will allow you to stay with them. And it's a blessing if a parent opens up their home to a kid to stay with them. And it could be a huge stepping stone and a way to save money to get towards other goals. So come up with a plan. How long do you plan on doing this for? What are you trying to save for? What's going on? I think it's super important to have that information down so that way you can know what your target is and where you're trying to go. Number 3, encourage independence. So this is for the parents, okay? While it's great to have your kids back, remember the ultimate goal is for them to regain independence. This is not a long-term thing. This is just so they can get on the right foot and move on with their life. So discuss timelines and steps they need to take, whether it's enhancing skills, job hunting, or budgeting more effectively, and help them get there. Like I've had people reach out to me like, hey, can you meet with my teenager? Hey, can you meet with my young adult? So that way they can get on the right track with budgeting or whatever the case may be. And I'm happy to do that. So use your resources. If you're a parent listening to this, or if you're a boomerang kid listening to this, reach out. If you don't have a plan, let's create one because it's super important. After speaking, I have clients that are boomerang kids and they're like, I do not want to be at my parents' house that long. What do we need to do? Right. So trust me, both sides are trying to work towards the same thing. So let's have a conversation and figure it out. Number 4, balance support with responsibility. So it's tempting to offer financial help, but it's crucial to balance that support with accountability. And we see this all the time, even with kids, boomerang kids that aren't back living with parents. Sometimes it's hard. And as a parent, you don't want to see your child suffer. So you try to do what you can. But the flip side to that is sometimes accountability goes out the window. So consider charging a modest rent or asking them to cover certain bills. So that way they're still responsible for something while they're trying to get back on their feet. And they still have to flex that discipline muscle. Number 5, open communication. So keep the dialogue going. Regular check-ins can help address any concerns and adjust plans as needed. A family meeting can be a great way to ensure that everyone is on the same page. And this goes not just for this situation, but in any situation, whether it's romantic or roommates, whatever the case may be, it's always great to have regular check-ins to figure out where we're at, where we're going, and it just staves off confrontation and issues later on. So as we wrap up, remember that having boomerang kids isn't just a challenge sometimes, but it can also be an opportunity to strengthen family bonds and teach valuable financial lessons. So it's all about finding that sweet spot between support and independence. And like I said, if you're a boomerang kid listening to this, even though you may not like living with your parents, look at it for the opportunity that it is, because not everybody has that. I wish my mom was like, Tiffany, you want to move back in? Absolutely. You know how much money I would save. So if you have the opportunity, please utilize it to give yourself a stepping stone versus using it as a crutch. So anywho, that is all I have for you today. And hopefully that was helpful for you all. And thank you so much for asking that question, what a boomerang kid is. If you have a question that you want me to answer, again, don't forget to go to moneytalkwitht.com/Ask Tiffany. I'll be more than happy to answer. And I would love to hear from you. If you've had experience with boomerang kids or you are one, reach out to me. Let me know. Social at Money Talk with T everywhere, or you can reach out to me via email on the site. So don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed today's episode. And until next time, I'm wishing you all the best on your financial journey and your family dynamics. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for listening, joining, and being a part of the Money Talk with Tiff podcast this week. You can check Tiff out every Thursday for a new Money Talk podcast. But if you just can't wait until next week, you can listen to previous podcast episodes at moneytalkwitht.com or follow Tiff on all social media platforms at Money Talk with T. Until next time, spend wise by spending less than you make. A word to the money wise is always sufficient.